right, welcome to the live Christmas drawing for September 28th, 2022. I'm going to get started here. I was having a bit of a crappy afternoon here. My glasses broke, so I'm with my other pair. I was trying to fix that pair for a little while, but it wasn't working properly. So, going to have to look into getting that fixed. But in the meantime, we're going to start our drawing. Can't believe the first month that ends in Burr is already almost over. Should be over in a couple days. It's pretty crazy. And I'm not going to say what I'm drawing today. I'm just going to draw it. I don't know how this is going to go. I turned the canvas sideways because we're doing a wider drawing than it is tall. And this is going to be one thing that I'm not good at drawing, but I'm going to take a stab at it here. You might start seeing a lot of little lines show up on the iPad because I'm not drawing with my glove on. I don't have it on today because I went to a rock field over the weekend and I crushed my one finger on a rock, so can't really wear a glove right now. Probably gonna have to move this picture around a little bit because, again, one thing I'm not too good at drawing is automobiles. So we'll see how this goes. I don't know why I've never been a fan of drawing vehicles and stuff like that. The good thing about this one is it's pretty beat up, so it doesn't need to look perfect. Yeah, I could already tell that the hood on this thing's garbage, but that's alright. That's what's going to make the drawing, I guess. Sketch lines are going to be all over the place here. Alright. It's not turning out as bad as I was thinking. I mean, it's not perfect. But this reminds me of a story. I'm going to talk about it on the podcast one of these days, but I saw a car, more of a truck, drive past my house one year with a huge Christmas tree on it. So I'll talk about that on an episode of the podcast at some point. Just a quick little story. But I was toying around with the idea of just doing some episodes that are just shorter stories, because the podcast was originally going to be advent calendar style, where it would just be little episodes every day to kind of count towards Christmas and just get something out there. But that's a lot of work to do something every day, so I might just do mini episodes come December for the month. We'll see. We will see. Alright, and no, this is not the Parker's car with Ralphie. Obviously, it's a station wagon. Alright, so I think my proportions of that hood are way off, but we're gonna deal with it. We'll leave it. Let's see now. For the rest of it, we're gonna draw a. Let's see. I don't remember. We'll have a big root ball here. big tree, and we'll have it some ropes going around it. I'm sure there was some ropes tying it to the car. I can't remember. All right. And let's see here. I already saw Christmas Vacation on TV once this year already. It was pretty exciting. It's always a good one when you catch it on. So yeah, this is the Griswold vehicle with the huge tree on the roof. Not looking exactly how I wanted it, but what are you going to do? I'm not good at drawing vehicles. We're going to do a technical pen today, I think, just because it'll give us a thinner line like I want. I'm going to drop the opacity down on that a little bit and get to work on the car. But yeah, I'm sure there's tons of detail that could actually be put into this car, but like window trims, etc. But I'm thinking of just doing a lower budget looking vehicle here, just to get the point across that it's the Griswolds. And let's see, you got your door handles, wooden panels. That's always a must on the station wagon here. So let's do the door here. Then that'll be our wooden panel. We'll fill that inside shape there with the wood. And same thing with this one. A little bit of the back bumper here. Then your front door panel, same thing, wooden interior. In the movie, their station wagon is green, but yet, like on some decorations, when you see some Christmas decorations out there, they have it red in some of them. I'm not sure why that is. And we'll have the rest of that roof will be covered a little bit by the Christmas tree, so I'm not going to put too much up there. But yeah, the Griswold's vehicle is green. I'll bring the bottom up here. I believe there's a wooden panel on the front. I kind of hid my tire there, so I don't remember the size. Got to bring it, shorten it. I'm sure it doesn't look too similar to the back one, but that's all right. All right, and then we'll do the front grille. And again, his car is pretty beat up, so I'm not too worried about the perfectness of it. And like I said, I can't draw vehicles at all. I mean, it's not too bad. All right, then we'll work on the tree. So we got your big root ball coming off the bottom. And I'm just going to, basically I'll draw a bunch of the lines for the roots, but then when I'm coloring this, I'm going to just do a kind of a brown wash in the background. We'll leave it like that, and we'll do a little bit of grass or moss or whatever in there. And we'll work up here on the tree. Again, it's tied down, but not professionally, so you're still going to have a lot of your branches everywhere. I'm going to turn it sideways here just because it's a little bit easier to work like that. And I'll just draw a few of the limbs in there. And then I'm going to do a layer over the top of this after I color it of the rope. That way I don't have to worry about erasing all the little pieces of the tree. I'll actually just draw it right on top. All right, so I could get rid of the pencil layer just because it's kind of in the way, and we're left with that monstrosity. So we're going to reference it, and then we'll start working on a color layer. So we'll try to think of a good color here for the Griswold's vehicle. Kind of like a olivey mint green, I think. That's not going to work. So with so much of this stuff being opened up, I'm just going to start layering on my color. So we'll do my syrup one for the color. Oops. There we go. So how I'm going to do this is I'm actually just going to color in the whole thing. And then I think I should be able to select those, and I'm going to do a wood grain on there. So for that, I'm actually just going to use the wood texture. I just want to see what that would look like. Can't remember where that is. Materials. I really should learn where all the brushes are stored. Textures. There we go. Now that's more of a wood flooring. So what I'm going to do is make it really, really big and see if I can have it just filling in. A little too dark, so I'm going to drop the opacity on that. Not working how I want. I'll just try it like that. I could see a little bit of the grain. I'll go through with a pencil with the black ink, and I will add some of that in there. But I mean, it's there for the most part. We'll make that a little bit thinner. Yeah, that'll work. That's not too bad. Okay, back to what we were doing for color here. So we're going to do the tires. Again, we'll go back to our syrup because that's how we're going to color this guy in. We'll shrink that down. This will be one of those drawings where I'm not worried about filling in the lines. Okay, I have to get the eraser. I just saw a little mark down here. I don't know where that came from. or when that happened. All right, now we'll go to the windows. Windows are tricky because really it's just kind of something you want to do them blue, but they're never really blue. You really always just see through them. But I think we'll go through and do a layer of blue. Then I'll hit them up with a white and I'll drop the opacity on it a little bit. And we'll just we'll do that classic window glare like that. That'll work for me. That's good enough. Then we'll go do the bumper on the front and back and the grille. Then some of the tail lights and headlight. Yeah, I don't even think I drew a headlight on there, but you know what I did forget to draw would be an emblem on the hood. So let me, I'm not sure what emblem's on there, but gotta have something, I guess. So we'll just do something like that. Go back to silver, go back to our color layer, and we'll just color that in. That'll work. And let's see. That trim around the wood panel is going to be tannish color. So I want to see if I could... I didn't do too bad of a job doing that, so I could select it. Then I'll just fill that in. Then I'll do the same thing with the panels down on the bottom with the wood. Then we'll do the tree, the roots. And it could be a Griswold family vacation. Let me add this up here where I didn't select. I mean, that could be the style of it is a little bit sloppy, but kind of fits the bill. All right, let me do the car handles. Probably silver. Although I don't know. I'm just kind of winging parts of this. Yeah, that works. That's kind of Griswoldy a little bit. All right, now we'll do the car. Or the tree, sorry. So for the tree, we will... I'm not going to be able to drop fill it because I kind of made a mess out of it. So we'll do a generic green and then we'll add some other layers, different colors. So now we'll go darker green. We'll drop that down a little bit. Add some texture to it. And I guess before I forget, I'm going to go back to my car color and I'm going to do a darker version of that and see if I could... Yeah, that didn't work. I'm going to try to drop it under the tree, but on top of this line. That way it's just kind of like the roof of the car a little bit. All right, back to the tree. So we'll get our darker green. Then we'll go to the trunk of the tree. Obviously is going to be brown. And Then the roots, again, same thing. We're just gonna kind of make a mess with the brown lines in here, and when we add some shadows and highlights, it'll tie it all together as one thing, hopefully. But that doesn't look bad. So now I'm going to add another layer, and we'll do our shadows while we're right here. Okay, up under here is going to be a lot darker. Oh, I forgot that back panel. I'll have to do the trim around that panel here when I'm done, just so I don't forget. And we're just adding some minor shadows here and there just to give it a little bit of dimension. Under the wheel well is going to be darker, and that'll carry on to the top of the tire a little bit. And I'm going to add a little bit of shadow on the tree on the underside here. Same thing with the trunk and the roots. Be a little bit darker on this end and lighter up at the top when I get there. But let me go back to my color layer and let me see if I could just fill this in. Yep. Perfect. Okay, back to my highlight layer. We're going to add some highlights. Let's see. Yeah, I guess for not caring about drawing vehicles, didn't turn out too bad. You get the point of what it's supposed to be. And we'll do some highlights on the top part of the tree. Nothing too crazy, though. Again, you do too many of the highlights and stuff like that, it's going to start looking plasticky. And that's not the look we're going for. All right, now what we're going to do, I'm going to take the reference off of that layer, and then I'm add a new layer on the top of everything, and that's going to be the rope. So for the rope, I'm going to go back to my color disc here, and we'll just pick some brownish color. And I actually have, let me see what I got here. I'm pretty sure I have some rope looking brushes. These are macrames, but that could work. Let's see. Here we go. We'll do an embroidery cord. Let me see how this looks. I don't know. I don't know if I like that. I guess. It could work. So we're going to just draw that around everything. And I'm only doing a couple of them around the car, but then, see, I kind of made it disappear under the hood there, or under the wheel well. But then I'll do a few more like they're actually tied to the tree. And around the top. I think that's not too bad. Turned out a little better than I thought. And yeah, you might say it's cheating, but here's what we're going to do now, though. So I'm going to turn my reference layer. I'm going to reference that one again. Now you see this is what the picture would look like if I took off the outline. Sometimes it's pretty cool to do that. You know, it looks pretty neat. But we're going to put that back on. And then we're going to go to our shadow layer real quick. And we're going to drop some shadow for this rope real quick just to make it look like it's actually on there. And then we'll call it quits for this piece. So a little bit around the car. And some of it on the tree. Perfect. It didn't turn out too bad. All right, so for the background, what I'm going to do real quick, I think I'm going to add a new layer and go behind everything. And then I might make it like, I might use this forest brush and basically just do a row of trees like they're on the road. Nothing too crazy. It'll mostly be in the background anyway. All right, we'll do a couple different ones just so. Nah, that didn't work. Trying to look for one that doesn't have a hard edge on the side there, but they all might have that. We'll leave it like that. That looks fine. So now, so I don't mess that up, I'm going to do another layer behind that. Then we're going to pick a sky color. We'll go a little more evening color because they're probably driving home after a long day of picking out their tree. And let me make sure I'm on the right thing here. Okay, so I'm going to reference these trees real quick. So it shouldn't cover it. Well, it won't cover that other part. So we'll leave it like that. All right, so we got a bit of a sky color going on there. And we'll do a little bit of gray just for the road. We'll do that. And by doing that, though, I'm going to have to... I have to do a little bit of a shadow under the car. So let's do that real quick. Back to our shadow layer. And I took the reference off of it, so it's a little sketchy here, but I'll just do it under the tire. All right, that looks fine. So one more thing, because I can't leave that little strip back there, so we're going to do kind of a greenish tone. And that's just going to... That's a little too light, but we'll just draw that in here. And let's see. No, that didn't work. I can leave it like that. That doesn't look too bad. Now I'm just going to assign the bottom of it, and we will call this completed. Sorry if I'm out of sorts today. Like I said, had a bit of a rough start here, but again, this is the 28th of September, 2022. And today's piece was the Griswold family Christmas tree on the way home. So there you go. Thanks for watching. I will be back next week. Check my Instagram daily for daily drawings of Christmas stuff. And again, next week, Wednesday, 6:30, same time, same place. Thanks for watching. I will talk to you guys later. Have a good week.